Okay, and we are back again. And today we're going to talk to you about from Coinbase to coverage, how to turn crypto profits into tax-free wealth with IULs. So we're going to focus about the problem and the possibility and how crypto gains aren't real until you protect them. So let's talk about this, guys. Most people are sitting on crypto profits, but don't realize their paper gains until it's cashed out. And that's a problem that we have in the crypto space. Most people are holding too long. Question, you that are looking at me from there, how long you been holding your crypto? And have you taken profit? Yes or no? Okay. And I bet the answer to that question is no, no. So you are not up until you sell. So I want to focus on that. Once you sell, you owe capital gains tax, and the IRS will be watching. So for example, we have the issue with volatility. Things go up, things go down, and that's how we can make money in crypto. I've been teaching about crypto since 2021. So your 20K in profits can turn into 5,000 tomorrow, which is one reason that you always, when you get in, you need to have an out and strategy, an exit strategy, so that you can obtain those gains. Okay. So the biggest threat, you made it, but you didn't move it. The second biggest threat is that you have to pay taxes. So if you don't take profit into a place where there's no taxes, you're going to keep paying taxes. That's the second biggest threat. We also have the other issue. If you have your crypto in an exchange, there can be a hack, or you can lose your money in a SIM swap. So what I'm trying to say is protecting gains is smarter than just making them. So what do the wealthy do when they make money in the crypto or whatever? They take, rich people don't keep all their money in crypto. They have less than 5% of their money in crypto. One, they know that there's diversification, there's protection in diversification. And that's the reason why they only hold the minority of their money in crypto, 5% or less. And 5% is a big, big number for the people that are into more riskier investments. Okay. But usually the people that are low risk will have maybe 1% or 2% in crypto. They move profits into things that are tax-free, protected from loss, and available later without penalties. This is an example of why they put their money from crypto or stocks or 401ks into an avenue like the life insurance. Why? Because there's no taxes when you put your money in that vehicle. Okay. So they use insurance policies with cash value like IULs, Index Universal Life. So let your risky back pay for your permanent protection, and not only pay for a permanent protection, but pay for a non-taxable result. Okay. So basically, now I'm going to talk about and explain what IULs are for you that are new. Okay. So one, an Index Universal Life equals life insurance plus investment style savings. So when the market goes up, this Index Universal Life that is connected to the S&P locks in the growth. And when the market goes down, there's a downside protection. So you only can make money. You don't lose money. And remember, it's non-taxable. So it has the death benefit plus cash value grows tax-free tied to the market index. So basically what I'm trying to say is no risk of loss. you can earn up to 6 to 15%, but never lose the principal. The cash value can be borrowed later, tax-free. You're buying life insurance with a retirement plan. So think of it like having a Roth IRA, savings account, and insurance policy in one. Except this grows better, it's private, and doesn't penalize you for using it. Okay? So let me show you how this looks, because at the end of the day, you want to see how your money grows, right? So I'm going to show you a policy for a baby, because yes, you can put a policy to anybody. Okay? So I'm going to show you this, and I'm going to show you how this policy, this IUL, grows your money. Okay? And I'm going to make this big. Is it big enough? Okay. So as you can see, the let me go back here. It's $25 a month for a $150,000 death benefit. Okay. Let me go back here a little bit. Okay. Okay. So let's say that you have $10,000 and you don't, I mean, I put this one like that because this is a quote that I sent to somebody. You don't need to put 10,000, but if you can actually charge your policy in the beginning, right? Like this. Let me get out of here. $1 million baby. It's called a $1 million baby because you start with a small amount of money that becomes huge like this, right? So if you look in here and you see the money that the person has put, he has put 34,000, but look at this, because he started the baby right before the baby had a year. Look at the amount of money, because he basically funded this policy hard in the beginning. Okay. And please, if you have any questions, let me know. Okay. Where are you from? Where are you coming? And what is the question? So let me keep talking to you about how you can take some of your crypto profits and put it in an IUL. You fund an IUL. So most of you guys have your crypto in an exchange. Let's be real. Most of you have your crypto in an exchange, which basically means that you can actually use a card to fund the premium. So even my husband now uses a card to pay for everything. Why? Because when you're using money from your portfolio, you're paying things with your ATM portfolio, And now Coinbase is going to add a new credit card that's going to pay 4% back reward in Bitcoin. Then you're making money in both ways, right? You're taking and paying with that, and you're making money in a non-taxable way. So instead of selling your crypto and sending it to a bank, you spend it strategically. You use Coinbase One to earn up to 4% cashback in crypto. You pay your monthly or annual premium for your UIL with the card. This turns your policy into a crypto reward generator, adding to your bag while protecting wealth. So basically, the bonus is it trickles your tax responsibility. You're not liquidating all of it at once. You're leveraging spending. So when you start, if you can actually overfund it, like when $10,000 is an example of this specific one, you basically can build value cash, as you see with this specific example. Let me go back here, because as you can see, this baby, this is an 11. This is like a 3-month-old baby, and so the father, the parent, is going to fund it with this amount, with this lump sum, $10,000, and then after that, it will pay $25 a month or $300 a year. So is that making sense how this goes? Any questions, guys? So another example is a $300 a month versus $1,000 a month, or a 10K lump sum with profits. Lump sum, use crypto profits from bull runs to front load your policy and build faster. Monthly is great for consistency and dollar cost averaging into protection. And then you're going to let this grow. As you can see, this here is growing. Look at this. Because it front loaded it, 13,000 has put in 10 years. The cash value is actually higher than the amount of the investment. Let's jump to 25 to 30 years old. Yeah. Okay. So you can see here again, this person up to here, let's say 22,000, right, has paid up to the 40. But again, the cash value is 98,000. Think about that. That's like almost 5 times more that the person invested in. Okay. So the cash value is tied to the S&P 500 and other indices. The growth potential usually is 6 to 12% annually, depending on the index strategy. And there's a floor. Even in a market crash, your growth doesn't go negative. And because it's not directly tied to the indices, there's no capital gains and there's no loss. You can borrow tax-free in the future. You can take loans against the policy tax-free. You don't pay income tax on this withdrawal. So as you can see here, we are going to go to the baby having their 50th year. Let's do it. 50 year. Oh, the baby now is 50 years old. They have put $25,000. And look, the cash value of the policy right now is $191,247, and the death benefit is that. So even if the baby wanted to take $100,000 to buy a house, that can be done, because you can use this anytime without asking. You just tell them, hey, I need this. They're not going to ask you what you want your money for. Boom, like that. You get the check. As long as you have it in there, it's there, then you will get it. So basically, these are tactical steps to move from Coinbase to coverage. Okay. And the cool thing is that you can actually do this. You might not be healthy because you have diabetes or whatever, but if you have a son, a daughter, or grandchildren or nieces and nephews, you can actually put them in the policy and you are the owner. You, as the policy holder, you have the power of the purse. So it doesn't matter if you're sick or not. At the end of the day, it matters that you have a family member that you can put in a policy, and your money is going to grow. And you can do anything because you're the policy holder, right? So you're actually doing something good for the family at the age of, let's see here, 50. Example, there's a $10,000 that you can give, because again, you're the person paying this. This is not, although you're actually putting them as the you're covering them. It's not really their policy because you're the policy holder. The person that buys it, pays it, is the policy holder, is the one that is in control of the purse. Okay, so you can see that this money, and he started with a 10,000. See there, at the end of 80 years old, if you think about it, actually, once the person has 76 here, it breaches that $1 million threshold, basically creating a $1 million baby. This is why it's better to put babies in a policy, right? Not only that, baby, if the baby gets sick in the future, it has a terminal chronically ill rider. So if the baby gets sick once he's older, it actually covers them for that too. So think about that. I mean, it's death benefit, it's cash value accumulation, and that also. So let me give you another example. And it doesn't have to be that much money because, again, like I said, this is $25 a month. Although this person took the 10,000 and front-loaded funded this specific policy to make it bigger faster and grow the cash value faster. So if you have a $500 per month and eat profits, you can take that and open an IUL, or $400 a month. You earn crypto rewards for paying the premiums. And in 25 years, you will have at least $300,000 in tax-free cash value and $1.2 million death benefit. Scenario 2, 40-year-old with BTC back, 30,000 stablecoin profits from bull market, pays 12,000 lump sum into an IUL using the crypto card, uses it as a tax-free retirement fund plus family protection. These are some of the scenarios of what you can do with your crypto profit or stocks or whatever it is that you're doing to grow something that is taxable. It's non-taxable. Okay, you're taking a taxable event to a non-taxable haven. Okay, so basically, when to start and what happens next. The ideal time is now, guys. While markets are up and you're still young and healthy. Minimum at least $200 a month. If you can put that, if you have more money, because it depends on your budget and the amount of money that you're making, $500 a month is better. Or a one-time front funding of $5,000, $10,000 from your crypto bank. You get lifetime coverage, asset protection, and a tax-free bank for life. So let me actually go back and explain a little bit more here. We got a lot of people that are crypto bros and crypto sis that have a big bag of crypto. A lot of them die. The family doesn't know anything about crypto. If you have already a health insurance protection on yourself, when you die, your family gets a check a week later. It's that fast. And you don't have to then worry about, oh my God, if they don't know how to use the crypto, what happens now? You don't have to worry about that. Think about that. The amount of peace that you can actually do by just doing some simple things. So what do you need to do right now? You can book a call with me. As you see, my phone number is, let me just change here. My phone number is here. 512-387-2748. Recuerden que yo hablo español. I speak Spanish if you guys need that too. That's my phone number. Make a schedule an appointment. See exactly what your crypto profit or stock profit or 401k or a retirement account can do for your legacy. Again, we don't know when Murphy is going to knock, but if you have coverage, it will be blocked. Okay? So again, if you have a retirement account, those are taxable too, guys. The only reason to have a retirement account, being a 401k or a Roth IRA, is that your employer is matching you. So if your employer is matching you 3 to 6%, you put exactly the amount that the employer is matching. But let's say that you are done with that employer and you have $25,000 in your Roth IRA or 401k. We can take that, as long as you're not with that same employer, and we can roll it over into an annuity. So, and the annuity works a lot like the IUL. The difference is it's a retirement account. So we could take your 401k retirement account, your TSP if you're in a federal, or your first responder retirement accounts, and roll it over without any penalties before the 59 years and a half, as long as you're not working with that same employer. We can roll it over without penalty. Like to like, retirement account to the annuity index, which also the annuity index has death benefit, has living benefits in case you get terminally chronically ill, and it has the same thing about growth like the IUL. Okay? That's only for the people that have a retirement account that they're not using, that they need to roll over. So again, book your one-on-one call, do something with your gains. Don't wait till Murphy knocks to try to get coverage, because you either are prepared or you're not. So it's very important to set these IULs right, because if you put too much money, there's a thing called a MEC, where you pass the maximum and it becomes a taxable account. So again, that the agent needs to understand how to do that. And I understand what not to do for you to just have an IUL that is not going to be, that's not going to tax. Also, the policy details tips, level death benefit versus increasing, keeping costs low over time. Listen, guys, you can put a $10,000 lump sum and then just make it very lower, $25 a month, $300 a year. That you see how that little thing grew. Also, this is another reason that I always check, and I check your policies, because sometimes a lot of people think they have a great policy and they don't have a great policy. If you only have a term policy right now, your money is not growing. Okay. So, and you have to stay compliant while stacking the crypto rewards. Also, why to avoid overloaning or underfunding later in life. I just want you to be protected and have the best strategy. So I'm going to compare again the IUL, the Index Universal Life, versus the 401ks and the retirement accounts, guys. The IULs, Index Universal Life policy, no age restrictions for withdrawal, no required minimum distributions, and it's tax-free retirement income. Combine the IUL with crypto and annuities for the perfect triangle strategy, because at the end of the day, if you don't have a plan for your retirement, because I bet some of you guys want to get retired at 65, do you have anything that is going to help you achieve that goal? This is an example of what you will need to get there. Okay. So that is why IULs are the best thing. So like I said, each family member can have a policy, the spouse, the kids, the grandkids, the nieces and nephews. Policies can be passed down tax-free from generation to generation. You can build a private family bank. teach the next generation how to borrow and repay. And then you can put all that stuff, all that amazing system under a trust that is protected from the government, from taxation and inflation. I also deal with that, guys, with a trust. If you need a trust, a revocable trust, and all that stuff, okay? So this is what the Rockefellers did. Use a trust structure to control how money is accessed. So you position your IUL, your Index Universal, as a legacy tool, not just personal gain. So if you guys don't have any questions, I am going to wrap it up. Your crypto is powerful. Now use it to build protection today. Don't wait for the next market crash or health scare. Okay? You deserve a financial strategy that rewards you in life and death. So please book your free Crypto to IUL consultation today at 512-387-2748. Okay? Any questions? Comments? Questions and comments? Okay. So like I told you guys, here is my info in English and Espanol. And you can do some amazing things with that. I want to show you something before I go. Guys, if you haven't seen this, you haven't read this, actually, I got the book here. If you haven't read this book, I want you to get it. It will change your life. This book, and let me put it here. What will Rockefeller do? It's called What Would the Rockefellers Do? What would the Rockefellers do? Okay, by Garrett Gunderson. He explains the system that the Rockefellers use to grow their legacy. And it doesn't matter how much money you have, you can start the same system, and in 3 generations, your family can be better than today. And it starts today. Okay, so if you don't have, guys, any question, I'm going to go. I am going to say goodbye. And every Friday, I do Spanish and English lives here for you guys. Okay, so you guys take care. Have a great weekend. And God bless. Take care.
Paper trails thicker than a mystery novel. Cash flow ripple make the banks grovel. Phoenix rise both shut with precision. Generational wealth, that's the mission. Legacy locked, key in the safe. Phoenix flying, no time to waste. Stacks on stacks, building the base. Future so bright, can't see the haze. Securities move, we the pros in the game. Trust airtight, playing no shame. Life insured, annuities grow. Seeds in the ground, now watch them show.